blood bags. I'm Alma and this is another spicy episode of Trojan Arcade. You know what's amazing? Steam's midweek madness. In true Wolfgang fashion, I just bought 3 games for $9. 3 games! But before I get to dig my grubby little hands in them, we'll be taking a look at Steep, Ubisoft's newest entry into the extreme sports genre, accompanied by some real human skiing. We have no adult supervision on this show. Then we'll be flapping our jaws about games launching in March, and it's quite the lineup. But first, as per usual, let's listen to the palest losers around tell us about what's hip and happening this week.
I'm James Alessi.
I'm Cam Greeley.
And this is your week in video game news.
It is.
The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, it's finally out! And it's on a critical acclaim. Everyone, far and wide, are giving it the most 10 out of 10s I have ever seen. Legend of Zelda fans everywhere are embracing it. And some people are even claiming, again, it's the greatest game of all time. I'm kind of losing my shit. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. I'm hyperventilating a little, have been for the last 24 hours. I would already own it, but the Nintendo Switch has about the exact opposite reaction and basically doesn't work. So I would either buy a Wii U or an NX or Switch, but I'm kind of screwed, so that's great.
I thought I was doing the Zelda story. Overwatch news time. Might as well call the show Trojan Overwatch, or Overwatch Arcade, or Trojan Watch Overcade. Overwatch had a busy week. Blizzard released a widely unpopular buff for Bastion that gave the funky little bastard infinite healing, which meant he could survive the ultimate attacks of Reaper, Torbjorn, Genji, Hanzo, Tracer, and McCree. As a result, Blizzard has announced that the buff will be rolled back, thank God. Blizzard has also announced a new hero, Orisa, a robot tank equipped with the Infinite Fire Fusion gun, 2 different shielding abilities, and an ultimate that boosts the damage output of allies within her sight. The child genius Efe Oladele reprogrammed this defense bot, whose primary function is to keep the public safe. She is essentially the RoboCop of Numbani. Finally, Overwatch nabbed the Game of the Year award at the 2017 GDC Awards, officially making Overwatch the La La Land of video games.
Lorde releases a new single today. I know we are on Soundstage, but I just love her so much. I mean, look at those eyes. Haunting.
Battlefield 1's first expansion, They Shall Not Pass, will release on March 14th for players with a premium pass and March 28th for everybody else. In case you're wondering, no, this expansion does not include Gandalf as a playable character.
What about a staff?
No staff.
All right.
Instead, the expansion will come with 2 new operations, a new Frontlines mode, and is centered around the French army, with new maps, vehicles, and weapons, which unfortunately does not include Sting or a staff. Middle-earth jokes aside, the trailer features some pretty sick shots of dudes dying in poppy fields, and They Shall Not Pass may just pass our standards.
On February 28th, Phil Spencer of Xbox posted an official announcement of the Xbox Game Pass, a new gaming subscription service coming later this spring. The Xbox Game Pass gives you unlimited access to over 100 Xbox One and backwards-compatible Xbox 360 games for $9.99 a month. Xbox has advertised this service as having something for everyone to enjoy by including games from top industry publishers such as 2K, 505 Games, Bandai Namco, Capcom, Codemasters, Deep Silver, Sega, and many, many more. Xbox has already announced that Halo 5 Guardians, Payday 2, NBA 2K16, and Soul Calibur 2 will be included in the service. The games will download directly onto our Xbox One, so users won't have to worry about streaming or connectivity issues.
Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, which launches March 7th, will have added content through free updates and paid DLC passes. I love it when I have to pay extra for the full version of my $60 game. Pass holders get early access to 2 major expansions, along with missions, equipment packs, and permanent 5% XP boost. Wildlands will also receive a free 4v4 multiplayer mode after release. The DLC pass will cost $40.
This week, we are very sad to report the Vice President and Managing Director of Sony Interactive Entertainment Australia and New Zealand, Michael Ephraim, has been made redundant. Ephraim has been working for SIE for 25 years and worked at Sony Australia since 1992. An Australian spokesperson has said that the Australian and New Zealand business will now have different corporate reporting regime. So far, it seems that Ephraim is taking this well, because in his statement with GameStop, he thanks the PlayStation family for an experience of a lifetime. Sounds mildly upsetting for Michael. But why do we care about this guy?
He has a family, you selfish bastard!
All right. All right.
The Nintendo Switch is not region-locked, and with Day 1 updates, Switch users can access eShops from other countries, like Japan. This requires creating a new profile and account on the Switch that is set to the region you want to access, and games from other countries can't be purchased with a credit card from a different country. Prepaid cards might be a workaround, but this is unconfirmed for now. In other Switch news, early reviews for the Nintendo Switch have labeled the latest console by the Japanese giant as broken and half-assed. Wired editor Chris Kohler reported that his left Switch Joy-Con controller did not work when it was disconnected from the Switch screen. Looks like for now, I'm not going to kick my Wii U to the curb like some unwanted stepbrother named Steve. Nothing personal there.
The Game Developers' Choice Awards, otherwise known as GDC, and Independent Games Festival Awards took place last night. Overwatch won the Game Developers' Choice Game of the Year award, while Quadrilateral Cowboy won its Indie Game Festival counterpart, the Seamus McNally Grand Prize. The other nominees for Game of the Year were Uncharted 4, Inside, Dishonored 2, and Firewatch. And the nominees for the Seamus McNally Grand Prize were Inside, Stardew Valley, Event O, Hyperlight, Drifter, and Overcooked. Congratulations to those nominated and the grand winners.
Rockstar outlined their planned updates for Grand Theft Auto V, a game that will never, ever die. Included are new stunt races, new adversary modes, and throwback cars. Players who are yet to import their characters from the Xbox 360 and PS3 have only 10 days left to either upgrade to Xbox One, PS4, or PC. Needless to say, I'm excited to have another reason to continue my carjacking, hooker-slapping, murderous rampage in Los Santos.
And that's all for this week in video game news. Now back to you, Alma.
Thanks for the news. To be fair, Cam is a little olive. I'm sorry if I insulted you for calling you pale. Now, like I said, we'll be checking out James's review of Steep. But James, you have an unconventional review, do you?
So, one of the games that I was perhaps most excited for following E3 last year was Ubisoft's new and beautiful and extensive snow sports game, Steep. Now, when I first opened Steep about a month or so ago, I was immediately enraptured in it by the beauty of the landscapes of the Alps, and I was curious as how I was going to be able to traverse this huge map and make use of all of it in a fun skiing game. Now, then, I began the tutorial. A slow hour-long or so experience, which gives a brief introduction to the mechanics for snowboarding, skiing, wingsuiting, and paragliding. But from here, it all went downhill, pun intended. Not only did I struggle to get through the tutorial, because it was really difficult and confusing, but once I was set free upon the mountain, I realized how difficult of a time I would have to basically do anything that I actually wanted to do. I got so bent out of shape with the inability to do what I wanted to do that instead of writing a review, I pretty much just wrote a brief rant of why Steep is freaking terrible. So now I'm going to just do a little rant, okay? So number one, in order to find new events, you have to look through your freaking binoculars to see new peaks of the mountain. And then, even if you're close enough to actually go to that peak based on how close you are with the binoculars, you might not even be able to go to it because you have to be a certain level to do pretty much anything in the game. So even in the map, you might be able to see this blimp above that looks really cool that you might be able to wingsuit down from, but no, you have to be level 20, and you start at level 2. All right, so number 2, the font size. If you could see from any of our footage, it's tiny. You can't really read anything in the game, so even if you're getting explanations as to what you're supposed to be doing, it might not be apparent to you because you can't read it. Number 3, the game modes are lame. Pretty much, you get bored with most of them pretty quick. So like paragliding looks awesome, right? You're having a fun time. You're in that paraglide, I don't know, what are those things? Parachutes with a seat, basically. But you're going about 10 miles per hour consistently, and you're in races, which look awful. There are other game modes where you're basically just trying to ski through certain objects on the map, which are boring. There are checklists. The races are too easy. The tricks You basically go down the mountain and you're supposed to do like 1,000 points, which you can pretty much get accomplished in 4 tricks. It takes no time at all. It's not satisfying. It's boring. Number 4. Again, hang gliding and wingsuiting sound great, but they get boring real quick because you can't do any tricks with them. There's no tricks at all. You're just moving straight, which sounds great, again, because you could be going really fast, except you're not with hang gliding, so what's the point? Number 5, backcountry skiing. Sounds fun, but it's slow, and there's not a real easy way to get back and forth on the mountain without going to the basic first place you started or somewhere in between. That's not going to be an easy place to get down from. Number 6, completing a challenge should be rewarding, but it feels like it's just a chore. You don't feel worse every time that you do something, and you can't even tell what challenges you've already done and which ones you haven't because there's no distinction on the map whatsoever. And I don't even know what score I got on them until I click on them, find out I already did them, and then I don't know if I got gold, if I got silver. It's confusing. I can't figure it out. It's too small. All the fun is too small. I can't figure anything out. Number 7, tricks. Just button matching. No idea what earns what amount of points. I don't know what the names of the tricks are. I don't know how much they're worth. It's all kind of bogus. I can't tell why one is worth more than the other. It is no meaning to me at all. Number 9, first-person mode sounds great, but also when you're not actually skiing and your mind thinks that you're actually skiing, it gives you a headache, so it's not great. Number 10, how do I even move forward when I'm left with a wide-open map with nothing to do because I can't level up in order to unlock anything at all? So really, I just stalemated, couldn't write a review because the game's freaking awful. And that's all that I have to say about Steep. Now back to you, Alma.
Thanks for your angry opinion, James. You need some help. Now, you go get yourself some hot cocoa and a cute skiing instructor to snuggle with, and we'll be right back.
Allons, enfants de la patrie, aux armes, citoyens. Entendez-vous dans les campagnes mugir ces féroces soldats? Ils ne passeront pas.
Hi there, Vinny here. You may know me from my other products like the Key Rope. I've got an amazing new product for you that you can't afford to miss. Are you tired of all these remotes? Look at them. They're crazy. What are you, Patrick Seward? Come on. They got like 10 with like 6 different buttons. You can't do all that math. That's a load of garbage. You can't deal with this. You're the junior VP of sales at Janice Montgomery Scott, who just wants to dance. You know the kid in Bronx Tales, actually, he's not even Italian, he's Colombian. Ditch these boring remotes and make out like a Rocky Mountain goat at Christmas. This is the new Trojan Vision Sensation infrared transmitting remote control device. So you come home from work, long day at work, you just want to watch some Trojan Vision. You just press one button, boom, TV's on. No complicated math. Want to pause? Maybe press the pause button. My cousin did the pause button. You want to turn it off? It's over. Press the off button. Just one button. And for all you health nuts out there, that's right. Get this. Trojan Vision remote, 100% gluten-free. That's right. We tried to make one with gluten. Look, doesn't even work. Now call now and get this amazing remote for just $19.99. And call in the next 15 minutes and we'll include a photo of me at my niece Angelina's wedding, free of charge. Come on, guys. I can't do this all day. Trojan Vision, guaranteed to be good for your money. Yeah, no, seriously. I can't be here all day. Yeah, no. I really, like, I got this thing going on the side. Like, used library books, okay? You just go in, right? You get like something like To Kill a Mockingbird. You check it out for like 2 weeks. They don't care. They don't care about that book. Right, you flip that book, give it to a student, like 15 cents. Make 15 cents. I make like 15 cents like every 2 days. It's amazing. It's just like they hemorrhage money. It's incredible.
honor of Steep's release, James, Sam, and Wolfgang hit the slopes to see what's what. Actually, they just went skiing because they just really like skiing. I don't get it. Check it out.
What's up, guys? Wolfgang Paulson here for Trojan Arcade. We are in Big Bear for the second annual Trojan Arcade Ski Day. James Alessi was supposed to meet us here, but he is nowhere to be found. Do you know where he is?
No, that's
Overslept, ha ha ha. Gonna play steep all day. See if you can do the challenges I send you. Let's do it.
So we're on the lift to the top of the mountain. We got our first challenge. Jesse said he's faster at skiing in steep than he is at snowboarding. So he said, I want to see who's faster, Sam Shipp on skis or Wolfgang von Paulsen on the snowboard. We'll find out. Ready? See you at the bottom.
Please fall. Oh, please fall. Good stuff.
You guys faster.
Only 4 minutes behind me. We might have to time lapse that.
Hey.
All the way down. Don't get lost, because I ain't waiting for you. Okay. Solid. I'm glad I turned around to get you that in time.
What's up, bro?
It was groovy.
I can't put back on my ski.
Deep powder.
Turns out we cannot live up to the challenges of backcountry, and steep makes it look much easier than it actually is. So I'm gonna go f***ing die. I'll see y'all later.
He swears so much. There's gonna be so much editing. Backcountry's too hard for some of us. No. Oh, dude, you were cooking. You were cooking it. Did you bury your face in the hill?
What?
It looked like you put your whole face in the hill.
I did.
That's cool. Sorry, can you say that one more time?
This is what real backcountry skiing looks like.
I don't think that's true. I think when you're backcountry skiing, you're usually at least wearing skis and not just flopping around uphill.
He is the one who said backcountry is the main part of steep. Go do it. And now we're here.
Can you believe
But it is a pretty view.
he even said such a thing?
But look at Wolfgang.
You're literally just looking into a tree.
Oh, that's my hands. Look at Wolfgang.
I'm getting cold. I think we should like move.
Really? I'm really cozy.
Some skiing, some snowboarding.
You want to eat a sandwich first?
Okay, let's eat a sandwich.
That sounds like a better idea.
So, James just texted us again, and he wants us to incorporate a chairlift into a race. So we're currently going to the very top of the mountain. We're going to race from the very top all the way down to the base, up 5, which is one of the shorter lifts at the bottom. So go in the line, up through the lift, clip back in on my snowboard, down again. And the first one to go down, up, and back down again is the race. Nice. I mean, we did do it last year for SSX, so it's kind of a silly.
Let's think who rocks on top, and can't be stopped. It's
That's 100% not the lyrics. It's tricky to rocko rhyme, that's right on time, it's tricky.
I thought it was let's think who rocks on top and can't be stopped.
Let's think who rocks on top and can't be stopped? What does that mean?
I don't know, but he can't be stopped.
No, it's
and can't be stopped. It's tricky.
It's tricky to rock a rhyme, that's right on time, it's tricky.
They're applying the hip hop.
They're like, it's tricky to do what we're doing right now. It's tricky to rock
They're
around this right now.
bragging.
Yeah,
They're being
it's boastful.
braggadocious.
Run DMC is a bunch of braggadocios.
My recital. I think it's very vital to rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky. It's uptight. Here we go. It's tricky to rock around. To rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky. It's tricky. 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 It's tricky to rock around. To rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky.
When you hold me, when you're all alone, give it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on.
What kind of feeling? I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I said I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
So, it's official. James has stopped messaging us. I think we officially won the day. There is a winner.
Certainly.
We would be it.
Well, I think Mother Nature is the winner of the day, and we only but partook in her blessings.
Shakespearean, really. And on that note, back to the parking lot.
Good evening. We are back outside of my house after a long day of skiing in Big Bear, California. We're all pretty tired. Skiing's pretty hard. James sent us a lot of texts throughout the day trying to challenge us, but was unable to beat us. We beat every single challenge because skiing in real life is just better than skiing in a video game. That said, Steep by Ubisoft looks like a very fun game, and I'm very tired, so I'm just gonna go now. Good night.
That looked really cold. My people don't ski. Now then, happy March, gentlemen. Quite a few games and such happening in March.
Oh, really?
Indeedly.
Just a few.
Just a few.
I wish I had my N7 patch as well.
Ah, true. So obviously first the big highlight is the release on the Nintendo Switch and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as you discussed earlier.
Yes.
Which
We all need to like rub our knees a little bit and like breathe a second.
I know. Here's what it is. It's like the reviews for Zelda are so good, so I want it, but then the reviews for the Switch are not good.
Yeah, and I was one of those guys that never bought the Wii U because it wasn't different than the Wii. And now I'm like in a troubled position because I'm like I can't buy the Switch yet because it's literally broken. I can't get a Wii U because they're not even freaking making them anymore, I think.
No, they stopped making them.
I'm slightly confused because this was supposed to be released as Legend of Zelda Wii U.
Right.
So I feel like it should run very well on the Wii U because I feel like that's what it was originally designed for. Sure, they probably updated a lot for the Switch, and like that's probably why they had so many delays with this game. But I feel like it'd still be an apt, well-running game on the Wii U because it was originally designed for that console.
Yeah. It's basically open world Zelda, which I think would have been fun with the touchpad. But along with the Switch, I mean, this isn't the only launch game for the Switch. Of course, there's the 1-2 Switch, the party game. There's a whole bunch of other mini games. I know the one that I thought was really cool, the ARMS wrestling run, still isn't out yet, which is a bummer, but like, we'll live, we'll live.
Yeah.
So I looked up the entire, like Polygon has, I mean every website, but specifically Polygon has, the release calendar for March. And as you said, our other highlight is Mass Effect Andromeda.
You know it.
Are you going to buy it? Did you pre-order it?
I've not pre-ordered it. I'm going to buy it. Probably going to wait for it to fall in price a little bit and also maybe check out what's going to happen with the DLC that'll come afterwards.
Right.
Because Mass Effect 3 had a ton of DLC and some really cool DLC that I was actually kind of upset about because they were each like $14.99 and I think there were at least 3 or 4 of them. And each of them added a significant portion of the story which you kind of like can note is not there when you do the original playthrough, which is upsetting because it's the whole trend of like releasing an unfinished game and then adding to it later on and making people pay more.
Yeah.
So I assume Andromeda is going to be much of the same, although it does look really cool to start with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I watched the video that has like combat, like a combat preview of how combat's going to work, et cetera, and that looked incredible. But then also there's a new trailer out that shows some more like basic animations, and some of them make me a little nervous. They're a little sloppy.
Which ones?
I mean, there's one where
Is it like kill animations or
no, there's one where Krogan's helping you up and the hand does no. There's one where Sarah punches. I don't remember the generic name for the male rider twin, but she punches the brother, and it's like, I mean, it's literally like the stage punches you would do in middle school, where it's definitely like 3 inches away and you can see. There's a weird one where a Turian is helping up a rider and the hand is clipping through. Even just like how the big thing with Mass Effect Andromeda is they're like, we have like a mature rating because it's like there's gonna be sexy scenes. But like there's a clip in one of the trailers with like the male rider making out with a female love interest, and it looks so, it doesn't look right. It looks awkward. So then, I love space and I love Mass Effect, but like so far the quality of the animation's making me a little bit nervous.
But
I
you
think
know
I'm
what
also
doesn't
gonna wait
have
for
bad animations?
Huh.
Breath of the Wild.
Not to bring it back or anything, but it is supposed to be beautiful.
It is.
And we'll see how Mass Effect ends up. I think it's gonna be vastly pretty.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I think all of these games, like Mass Effect 3 when it originally came out, like was so buggy and like the story was not even finished really well. And so I imagine they'll fix things with Andromeda as well.
And there was a delay for Andromeda specifically to fix things.
Right.
So some other highlights from March include Kingdom Hearts High Definition 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix, because that's what they do for Kingdom Hearts now. MLB The Show if you like that, Mario Sports Superstars, all that sorts of fun stuff. And you know what? We're already at the beginning of March, so I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to play all of them. It's lit. Like I said, this was Trojan Arcade. I'm Alma Carranza. One of them is James Alessi. Cam Greeley was supposed to be here, but he's been replaced by Link. We'll see you next week.
You're watching Trojan Vision. For more of your favorite shows, check us out at trojanvision.com and like us on Facebook.